Welcome to Sex Talk with Sharonda. My name is Sharonda Parker, and I am your host. And I decided to do a formal video for transparency. And I also want to let you know that this is going to be probably my last video touching bases on things pertaining to marriage and relationships. And we're going to really get back deep into the sex toys and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because what I understand is sometimes when people pay me for these services that I'm practically giving you for free, and even if you went to a marriage counselor, the same things that I'm telling you is what you would pay a marriage counselor to tell you. But what I have learned over a period of time, people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. And people have a tendency to talk shit about what they don't understand when they're not trying to take their relationship to a certain level. Okay. So my thing is, the people who trying to go to the next level in a relationship and a marriage, being a wife and all of that, just come to wife school. Okay. Just it's very simple. Just come to wife school. But this will be my last lesson talking about why transparency is so important. And then when you come into my inbox and you tell me about all the shit that he's doing, I'm just going to send you the link for wife school. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you the link for wife school. Because sometimes when you telling people the secrets to success, they reject the secrets to success. Up until they having to experience certain things for themselves. I'm not foolish. I'm a very wise woman. I know what works. People would not be continuing to inbox me and ask me about relationship issues and help for their relationship if I did not know what works. So I know what works. And transparency does work. And a lot of people reject it because they know that they will never get it because of the way the relationship started off. It's kind of hard to come into a marriage year 5, year 10, requesting and expecting certain things, even though it's the right thing. Even though it will set you and put you on a right path. It's kind of hard to come in and ask for those things, because at that point you scared you rocking the boat, and you scared you gonna bring in a certain element into your relationship that you don't want. There was a man on my Instagram, and he said it so perfectly. Any man that does not want transparency, or any woman does not want transparency, is because they are deceiving you in some type of way. And even if it's flirting or inappropriate conversations or anything like that, they know that it's things that you're going to see that can possibly put your marriage or relationship in jeopardy. So they will tell you that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They will tell you why you can't just leave certain stuff alone. They will tell you all of these tactics and things like that to make you question yourself and to make you feel like you insecure, when it's not that you're insecure. It's just that you want things done in decency and order. You want things done the right way and the proper way. And doing things the right way and the proper way means that they can't do all the things that they used to doing. And they can't be as secretive as they're used to being. So what you'll do is you'll come on my page and you'll be combative with me and tell me that I'm a damn fool and you're not looking into this here and you're not checking up on that there, meaning that you love your children enough to check up on your children and to check up on their grades and to check up on the things that need to be done for them. But you don't have that same love for your spouse because you feel like they're an adult and you're not going the extra mile. If you don't feel like you need to go the extra mile for the people in your life that you love, you don't love them the way you say that you do. And you're not into your marriage as deep as you think that you are. You fooling yourself. Because when you love people and you care about them, you care about them on every aspect, even down to if they spending excessively. You need to know that. So, we're going to talk about transparency, and we're going to talk about why it's important. And at this point, if you don't agree, log off. If you don't agree, log off. Go find another thread. Go find another group. Go find some other content somewhere else. Just log off. Because I'm not here to be combative with you. I'm not here to try to win you over. That's not what I'm here for. This is a free platform giving free information. Okay? When I talked about transparency the other day, I literally had women on my page like mocking me, basically saying that I must have trust issues, insecure. I even had a woman that was a therapist on my page saying that it was creepy. But my thing is, be careful who you get your information from, because a lot of times you have these people who are professionals, but they have never been married, not one day of their life. They don't have children. In other words, they can eat off the plate and they can break that bitch because they ain't got nobody else that got to use that plate behind them. So even though some people are the professional, meaning that you are degreed and you are the expert in your area, but if you can't put no real life experience with that expertise, you can't tell me shit. There's nothing you can tell me, because I have an understanding of what it means to build with somebody. I have an understanding what it means to have a family and other people to be responsible for outside of myself. A lot of y'all spouses, and even sometimes you, have a third world, meaning that you have your real life, you have your life with yourself, you have your life with your spouse, but then you have a whole nother fantasy world that you living in that your spouse knows nothing about. And that is wrong, and it is deceitful, and it is not right. And if you are doing it, you need to stop. And if your spouse is doing it, they need to stop as well. You keeping things from your spouse, whether it be an extramarital relationship, whether it be an addiction. Because a lot of y'all have spouses that are on pills and all kind of stuff. And you thinking, oh, they just take a little Loratab every now and then. But now it then went from taking a Loratab to crushing it and snorting it. And then it goes from crushing it and snorting it to an actual heroin addiction. And then it goes from addiction to bills not getting paid. Then it goes from bills not getting paid to you losing your job. But if you could have nipped it and you could have held them accountable in the beginning, you could have saved you and them a whole lot of heartache and pain. Not saying that you're trying to be their mama. No, this is not about you trying to be somebody's mama or parent them, but it's about holding them accountable and letting them know, like, if you spending that amount of money on drugs, then we have a serious problem. We might need to be looking at rehab. Bad spending habits. A lot of people don't want transparency because you don't want your spouse to know how much you're spending. I have been there. I have been that person to go shop and put shit in the closet, and when you open the closet, shit start falling out everywhere. And my spouse tell me, take it back. Somebody that loved me enough to say, you know what? You went completely overboard. Take all that shit back. It could have been spent a lot wiser. Take it back. We could have used it for something else way more important. Take it back. But y'all don't want people in y'all life to be head. You don't want, because you say, I went out there and I work for them. I work for their money, and I take their money and I spend it however I want to. So that means that you will strip your man of being the head of the household to be the leader in the marriage, the owner of the team. You will strip them from all of this because you don't want nobody to tell you what to do. So you will go and open up a whole nother separate account that you have a cash app attached to, that you got all kind of shit attached to, that you going out there spending and doing this and that the other, and this other person have no idea. That's deceitful, is wrong. I have even heard of women that have other men sending money to their cash app. That is wrong. But you're doing this because you feel like your husband or your man or whoever not meeting the mark to be able to buy you things, to be able to buy you wigs, to be able to buy you bags, so you're willing to sacrifice your family for things. And you coming home with things that your spouse know you can't afford. But they can't question you about it because I ain't asked you to buy it. I went and bought it. In order for any marriage or relationship to succeed long term, I'm going to repeat that. In order for any marriage or relationship to succeed long term, meaning that you're thinking about your future, not about what's going on in your present, but you're thinking about your future, your legacy. In order for it to succeed long term, you have to have transparency. There is no way, because I'm talking about the things that I've seen. I have seen people talk shit about women who then went out there, their husbands died, and they got to go out there and go find another man to help them because they got bills and all kind of shit that they didn't know about. And the man had the insurance policy. His mama was his beneficiary. But see, if you minding your business, then you know who the beneficiary is on the policy. You know why? Because it's your policy. Not one he had when you met him and he changed you to the beneficiary. And then when he got pissed with you, he changed his mama to the beneficiary. Then he died and the mama the beneficiary. No. If you minding your business, then you got your own shit in place. So regardless of what he had before you, it don't even matter because you know you secured in it. When you minding your business. See, when you minding your business and something happened to your spouse and they die, you ain't got to be pressed to go out there and find you somebody else to take care of you and be responsible for your family. Because they had you set up to where you can take your time and mourn and grieve as long as you need to because everything's secured for you. But see, when shit ain't secure for you, you got to go jump on another dick. You got to. Because you got to be able to take care of yourself. But a lot of people don't want to have them kind of conversations. Marriage has no room for secrecy. See, when I'm sharing my body with you, I have no room for secrecy. Because every time I bust my pussy open and I allow you to come in, I'm putting my life on the line. And if I'm going to put my life on the line, I got to be able to access any and everything that I need to access concerning us and you and me. But y'all so fucking smart. I'm not going check up. I'm not going access. I'm not requiring. Y'all hoes sound stupid. I said it. You sound dumb as hell. Because if I'm opening my ass up and letting you come inside me, meaning I'm allowing you to have access to my body, I ought to be able to have access to your phone, to your email, to your bank account, to anything that I need to be able to access. And this ain't about me going spin, look, lurk. It ain't about none of that. But I should have access to whatever information I need access to. Without you telling me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Without you telling me why you got to go and create an issue. It's not creating an issue. It's you on some grown woman shit. Yes, it's free game. But one thing I know is when people are ignorant, they will reject the truth every time. So that's why when you come in my inbox, let me tell you something. I read that shit. I read it and my heart go out to you because I hate to see anybody going through anything. But it's certain things you should have had in place. Transparency improves intimacy in your relationship. It improves intimacy. See, I can give you all of me when I know what's going on. But I can't give you all of me when I'm second guessing and walking around not knowing. I just read somebody's, she sent a message to me. And she said walking around not knowing is literally just killing her. She was like, Miss Sharonda, I walk around every day not knowing what's going on in my marriage and it is driving me. When you in a relationship with somebody, you have to have a mutual understanding about your expectations in a relationship. That's why date night is important, so that you can talk and you all can be on the same page and you can communicate about you. See, at date night, I don't need to be communicating about my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my cousin, my friend, my this and these people business and that people. That ain't what your date night for. Your date night, you should not be discussing anything else that's going with anybody else in their business. Your date night is specifically about you and the person you're in a relationship with. and how y'all can become closer. How y'all can work on your intimacy. That's what your date night is for. I recommend weekly date nights. Some people like bi-weekly, some people can only do it monthly, but date night needs to be happening. This free. If you go to a therapist, it's the same shit they're gonna tell you at the therapist's office. This the same thing when you get on the couch at the therapist. This the same shit they're gonna tell you at the therapist. Transparency, intimacy, affirming each other. Give your spouse first priority. If something is going on with you, you don't call your mama first. That ain't who you call first. When something going on with you, whether it's something bad going on with you, whether it's good news, a promotion at your job, whether it's you got a bonus, whatever the information is, give your spouse first priority. They should know first. This has everything to do with transparency. They should be the first ones to know your good news. They should be the first ones to know when you hurt. They should be the first ones to know your bad news. They should be the first ones to know. But a lot of y'all, when something go on, you call your mama. You call your sister. You call your friend. That is wrong. If you can't get in touch with your spouse, you hold that good news, you hold whatever it is until you talk to your spouse. See, I deal with people who want to do marriage, who want to have marriage for real, who into marriage for real. See, let me tell you something. I was up this morning and I was in prayer this morning. And when I was praying to God about this whole thing, because sometimes things vex my spirit, and God himself told me, Sharonda, I never told you that they would like you. God himself told me this morning. Sharonda, I never told you that they would like you. I told you marriages would be restored in 2021. That is what I told you. I never told you that they would like you, but I did tell you that marriages would be restored. Have obvious and open accounts. As a married couple, there should be no question about having full access to each other's phones, social medias, accounts, passwords, emails. So y'all know I went to school to become a certified sex coach. So what I did this morning is I went back through my workbooks and catalogs, and I printed up the information all this has been taught. I printed up the information because I know I ain't crazy. But I'm like, okay, let me print this up so that I can have a guide to go by today when I teach transparency. Because when I was talking about transparency the other day, it was just off the fly, off the top of my head. But I wanted to make sure I didn't miss nothing. Because it's going to be the last time you get it for free. This is going to be the last time you get it for free. When I feel offended and insulted, this will be the last. You want it? Come pay for it. Because I know one thing about it. I ain't no fool. But when I'm sitting up there, I refuse to argue with women that's foolish. And you sound like a damn fool when you talk about what all you ain't going to do when you giving people access to you. Because one thing about it, I bet you any kind of money, if that motherfucker wanted your phone, if he wanted anything pertaining to you, you going to give it, and you going to give it willing because you ain't doing shit. But see, when you know you landing with somebody who ain't right, then instead of dealing with the person who you know ain't right, you'll get on this bitch and argue with me. If you have social media accounts, you should clearly identify that you are married and unashamed of it. You should not be trying to figure it out. No one should be figuring it out at all. If you ever find yourself nervous when your spouse picks up your phone, I'm reading this textbook. If you ever find yourself nervous when your spouse picks up your phone or refuse to give them your phone or full access to anything, anytime that they want it, then you are in a potentially dangerous position and you might not even realize it. This textbook. When you can't get somebody full access to you, stuff in the milk ain't clean. Y'all need to be talking about everything. You need to be talking often. If you ever see that you sharing more details with other people outside of your household, meaning your spouse, then you're in a danger zone. If you find that you are sharing, I repeat this shit. If you find that you are sharing information with people outside of your household, way more than you sharing it with your spouse, you're in a danger zone. And Lord forbid if the person you're sharing information with is the opposite sex. If you're sharing information with someone that is opposite sex, you are wrong. I can't even find another word to say other than you're wrong. You don't need to be talking about your spouse to the people at your job. You got a co-worker at your job that's the opposite sex. They don't need to be knowing what's going on in your marriage. That's how you end up with a work husband. You people try to figure out, how did I end up with a work husband? Because you were sharing too much. You were talking about your spouse behind their back, revealing too much information, and now this person know how to stroke you, and they know what to do to get to you because they know what you're not getting at home. That's how you ended up with a work husband. The same way people end up with a work wife. They going to work and they talking shit about their wife and about what else she not doing. You sharing things with the opposite sex that you shouldn't be sharing. I talk about my bedroom as a way to help other people. If I was not in the adult industry, I would not be talking about my bedroom. You don't have to go to your job and talk about your bedroom. You don't sell dick for a living. You ain't counseling no couples for a living. You're not doing none of that for a living. So nobody needs to know how good you can ride at your job. You should be communicating about finances, monies, kids, in-laws, sex, everything. These are the things you should be talking about your spouse with. You should not be talking to your coworkers about the following: finances, money, kids, in-laws, sex. You should not be talking to them about that. I can understand you say, oh yeah, my daughter's birthday is coming up. That's great. But if you got a raise, your coworkers don't need to know that you got a raise. That ain't their business. If you paid your car off, your coworkers don't need to know that you paid your car off. That ain't their business. Y'all share too much with the wrong people. Let your guard down. Be transparent with your spouse. I did not say your man, your spouse. Because the other day I talked about I said, when you meeting people, you don't need to let them know about how your daddy beat on your mama, how your uncle alcoholic, all the shit your brother do that he ain't got no business, all the shit that people did. Oh, they put me out when I was a teenager. They did this here. And I had somebody say, well, if I can't share my trauma with you, then I don't need you in my life. Let me tell you something. When you are pursuing somebody and you are going to possibly be in a relationship with them or something serious with them, over a period of time, you will share certain things. But when you first meeting them out the gate, you don't need to be sharing all of that with them, because people treat you according to what they know. See, if you telling him about, oh, last year for tax season, I had a boyfriend, I had gave him my tax return to flip it. He know that you the one. He could bump your head a couple of times. He know that I could tell her these sweet nothings and she gonna give up that check to me too. He knows that if you telling him, oh, my mama put me out, my auntie put me out, my grandmother put me out, I can't go nowhere and stay with nobody, then he know that he can open his doors up and let you come and stay with him, and he can treat your ass any kind of way because you ain't got no fucking where to go. The reason I shared that with you is because when you dealing with men and you dating men, you have to appear to be protected at all times. The men that you dating have to feel like if anything go wrong with you, they got motherfuckers that's gonna come behind you. I don't give a fuck what your daddy did. If he ain't killed you and broke your arm and beat the hell out you and all this kind of shit, then you don't need to be telling somebody how your daddy mistreated you. They need to feel like your daddy will fuck some shit up behind you. So stop getting into these relationships, pole mouthing, talking about how bad everybody treated you. Because you have to appear to be protected at all times by people in your family that you have never had. You need to be feeling, they need to feel like you're protected by people in your family, people that you had a non-sexual relationship with. They need to feel like other people coming behind you. Oh, my mama, she mistreated me and all of this kind of stuff, and she wasn't good to me, and she verbally abused me. And you know what they're gonna say? Oh, she used to being talked to in a kind of way. She built for it, because it's all she'd never experienced her whole life. Oh, my mama called me all kind of bitches and hoes. Expect him to call you all kind of bitches and hoes, because he know you used to it. You'll tolerate it. That's all you know. But when people feel like you've been raised a certain way, you have a certain set of standards and all of this kind of stuff, they're going to rise up and meet your expectations. So what I'm saying is when I'm on these pages and I'm giving you wise information and you got these little fools coming down the timeline talking about something, oh no, you're supposed to tell people everything about you. You ain't supposed to hide nothing from nobody. You're supposed to be transparent, tell people everything about you, to your spouse. Not to some nigga that you just met at the Dapper Shop Sunday. Wise counsel. You're going to take information, wise counsel, but y'all will get up under them comments because it sound good and be like, oh girl, you right. Because I tell my man everything, but you still ain't got a fucking ring. And you done told him everything. You know why you ain't got a ring? Because he cautious about signing up with dealing with somebody with all this fucking baggage because you done talk too fucking much. Don't nobody want to sign up for somebody that got all kind of issues with their baby daddy. Don't nobody want to sign up for people who got daddy issues. Don't nobody want to sign up with people who don't have a strong support system from their family because you done told him everybody done rejected you. Don't nobody want to sign up for that shit. So keep on running your mouth, and you ain't gonna never have nobody to be responsible for you. And those of you all that gets on here every day talking about something, I ain't worried about no man. Oh my God. And I'm gonna end it with this one. God gonna reveal everything to you that you need to see. You ain't gotta go looking for nothing. What I told y'all was God ain't gonna tell no another bitch to come tell me nothing about Spencer Parker. God ain't gonna send you to tell me nothing about Spencer Parker. But God gave me common sense to know that transparency is important and I need to be able to access everything pertaining to my household. It's a difference. They got a lot of hurt, broken, woe down, woe out people that go to church every Sunday who hurt, broken, and bitter. Because they didn't use the common sense that God gave them. He give you the spirit of discernment. Yes, he do. He sure does. And I can discern if a motherfucker don't want to let me have access to certain things that I need to have access to. My spirit gonna let me know that you trying to hide something. Discerning. Okay. All right, I think I got it all off my chest. If you want more information about building your relationship, register for Wife School. I tried to give it away for free. It was not appreciated. You all be safe. You all be blessed. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I will have the sex toys on the table next week because that's what the fuck we gonna be talking about. All right, I'm getting y'all ready for Valentine's Day. All right. And right now I cannot see all the comments, but when I log off, I will go through, read your comments, answer whatever questions you all have. Okay. For the people who are on my YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. You have all of the information. If this video blessed you, drop some coins in my Cash App, $PPG Stowe. You all be blessed.